Ipswich get over the line here in this one. And that does that to the league table. So, Ipswich move from 4th to 3rd, overtake Millwall. Hull stay in 5th. Let's deal with Hull first. So, 35, 60 points. They've got 11 to play. You can do this two ways. You can look at historical numbers, or you can look at the gap right now. Both have relevance. They are 6 points behind Middlesbrough. Hull. They have played Borough twice already, so there's no head-to-head. By the way, Hull's next two games are Millwall, one place above them, and Wrexham, one place below them. So Hull, literally in the space of not only 3 games, but in the space of, kind of Tuesday to Tuesday, are playing the teams currently today, 3rd, 4th and 6th. So tricky. They've also got a home game against Coventry on the back end of the Easter weekend. So Hull have a 6-point deficit to make up, and they have head-to-heads. They've basically got to play now everybody other than Ipswich and Middlesbrough between now and the end of the season. So 3 of their 11 games are against teams up in the top 6. Obviously, 2 of them against teams who are ahead of the Tigers in the table. So, if you apply logic to the Championship, which is a fool's errand, that makes it look difficult for Hull in terms of the actual automatic race. But you know as well as I, if we get a 3-point swing on the weekend, that we'll review it differently, and that is the ebbs and flows of the promotion running, isn't it? So Hull, given the game in hand has gone now, and you've had, it's only a 3-point swing, isn't it, in terms of Middlesbrough, in terms of everybody else up there this round, but I'm looking specifically at Middlesbrough because they are the barometer. They are in 2nd place right now. For Ipswich, looking all right, isn't it? Again, I'll pedal out. I think if my memory serves me, I think it was 23 games, 47 points. So that'll be now 24 and 50. Let me know if I've got that wrong in the chat. But a long period at 2 points per game for Ipswich. They're on the shoulder, and you have quite a big bank of evidence that Ipswich are a 2 points per game side. Obviously, over the season, Ipswich aren't. But then again, neither are Middlesbrough. If you look, they're 4 points shy of that. Only Coventry on the fabled 2 PPG, which normally gets you automatic promotion. In fact, every other season other than last season, since the rebrand of the Championship, it would have. There's the game in hand. We can have the debate over and again. Would you rather have a game in hand or points on the board? I don't know. When the game in hand is Pompey away and it's going to have to go in midweek, you'd probably have the points on the board because you could slip up in that one. But you've just got to do the necessary, haven't you? And this is where I guess we need to talk about, briefly, Port Vale 1, Bristol City 0, which Coventry fans will probably be very pleased about, because if Bristol City had won that game, then their game against Coventry would have been postponed at the weekend, meaning that Coventry would have had a game going into the calendar later, which is never advisable. Queue up comments again about points on the board versus games in hand and just sticking with the calendar. And also, they would have... every which way this works for Coventry, because they now play Bristol City at a time where Bristol City have just played in midweek and Coventry haven't. So you're looking at, kind of fine margins and marginal gains and all of those things. It just works for Coventry. The third thing is we did have a scenario where, with Ipswich playing last night And then potentially Ipswich would have been playing at the weekend and Coventry not. Obviously now they are. And then Ipswich play Tuesday next week and Coventry play Wednesday. We did have a scenario where Ipswich actually could have played 36 and been on 69 points. Yes, I know. Don't add 3 points on automatically, but I'm just using this as an illustrative best case scenario example. And Coventry would have gone into their game on Wednesday with a game in hand, albeit, but with Ipswich within one game, essentially. So I don't think it's insignificant that Coventry will now play Bristol City at the weekend and be favourites to beat them, and Bristol City have played in midweek. I think that Coventry fans will probably be pretty happy that that is going to be happening and there's no random fixture coming in, especially if Bristol City had stayed in the FA Cup for another round after this. Obviously, you don't stay in the FA Cup if you lose to League One's bottom side, Port Vale, but I think it's worth making the point. So I'm still saying not particularly going to talk about Coventry in terms of being caught up because they've just got such a nice gap. This is in terms of automatic promotion race, that being 2 teams catching Coventry, whether that's Middlesbrough and Ipswich or, another. You fill in the gaps there. But, yeah, a really good night for Ipswich and a really good run for Ipswich as well. That is 3 in a row. And not only is it 3 in a row, but after the debacle of the defending at Wrexham, where Ipswich shipped 5 goals 4 games ago, they have not conceded since.